Good evening. Hello. Good evening. Good morning. Good afternoon. Hello. Hello, Hugs. Hello, Pluvian. Hello, Horo. Hello, Circuit. Good evening. Hope you're all doing. Why are you all using that? What are you trying to convey to me with? I don't even know what that emote is. What is it? Just tongue out. Fuchsia tongue out. What are you trying to tell me? I see. I understand perfectly now. Hello, greetings. I apologize that this was the day that this is the wrong day, technically. It is a Friday? Yeah, it's a Friday night. It's weird. What am I doing here? Sorry, you weren't late, don't worry. You're not late. To be fair, I was nearly late. So that's what happens when you get distracted. But I've been busy, so I'm gonna give everyone a pass for being late. Technically, I'm a day late. I'm literally 24 hours late. And that's because you all told me to sleep. So I did. It took me a while. I actually, surprisingly, I didn't manage to fall asleep as fast as I thought I was going to yesterday, but I got there. Yeah, a little bit late. It was an okay sleep. It didn't come as easily as I thought it was going to after how tired I was after yesterday's stream, but is there purity emotes on YouTube one day? So to get purity emotes, I need to reach partnership on YouTube. Which has a few requirements, which actually, you know what, I did some thinking. They aren't as unrealistic. Oh wait, did you try and send something? Did YouTube not like that one? Got it? Yeah, no, nothing came through to me. I didn't see it. Partnership, yes. So yeah, I will have to reach partner on YouTube before we get the equivalent of subscribing, which is membership and emotes. Maybe one day. The requirements are actually pretty reasonable. I need, what is it? I don't know if I can remember perfectly off the top of my head. I think it's 1,000 subscribers, and then I think it's 4,000 watch hours in the past year. Which, to say I don't really make YouTube content, I don't do stuff on YouTube that much yet. I think I have about, I want to say 500 hours. But I think that's also because, so my Travelling Cat Chronicles, I didn't realise, apparently there's this like whole subsect of people who look up the Travelling Cat Chronicles film. There's like a Japanese film of it, but they want that they end up finding my video through the film and end up watching my read along of the Travelling Cat Chronicles. So I think the people who end up watching that are not VTuber fans. They're literally just in it for the Travelling Cat Chronicles. And you know what? I can respect that. It really confused me because I really didn't understand why that video was doing so well. But now I know. Just began to describe a strange dream I had where you were a bully. Very, very unrealistic. I would never. Bullying. Actually very. I was being sarcastic. But I'm actually very bad at doing that, as I think everyone has discovered by now. So the algorithm works in weird. It does. So yeah, shout out to all those people out there who looked up the film and found my read along and were like, oh, it's weird, that this like anime like cat girl is reading out the story, but you know what, I guess maybe my voice is good enough that despite the inherent confusion of it, it's okay. So I will take that as I will. But yeah, so membership, I don't know if I could reach like YouTube partnership like next year or anything. Who knows? It'll happen when it happens. Yeah, but then also no, because this the Travelling Cat Chronicles was the very first book I ever read on stream. So I was still like learning how to do it, how to read. It was the first book I'd literally read in years. I feel like I should clarify, it was not a strange dream, I just literally dreamed that I was doing normal everyday things at Puri was making fun of me. It's like a reverse live stream. Instead of you guys watching me do stuff, it's me getting like a weird window into your life and being like, and like backseating you IRL. Do it by next year? I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna talk more about this on the 1st, but I am planning on doing more stuff on YouTube next year. Like a lot more stuff than what I've done this year. Because I think I've released 3 videos, 2 shorts, and 12 live streams. And that is not enough. That is nowhere near what I intended to do. The Travelling Cat Chronicles reading poured them in. The 1-minute channel trailer cemented them as... No, not the 1-minute channel trailer. No, I don't think that appeals to anyone. Part of me wants to delete it, but also I think I should keep it up just for like historical sake. To be like, hey, this is what they were like. Jesus. Tubers watching viewers, yeah. Really turn the tables. Puri telling us not to. No, I recommend sleep. No, I am a huge recommender of getting sleep, of getting rest, of napping. Just not for myself. You all can nap and sleep and rest and all that good stuff. But me? I got shit to do. I got work to do. I was gonna ask, any plans to branch out to Tumblr streaming? God. Okay, number one, right now Tumblr streaming is only available on mobile in America. It's actually not available even in Europe. And I do not have the Tumblr app on my phone, the same way that I don't have Discord on my phone. Like, I literally I only have my Twitter and my Twitch on my phone. So, yeah, no, unlikely that Tumblr is going to become a streaming platform for me, basically. Sad question mark? No, I think it's fine. I don't think I need to stream on Tumblr. I'm good. I'm good. I'm not quite sure why that's the next step they're taking, but I'll leave them to it, I guess. Alright. Sorry, let me clear my throat 1 second. Oh god, how do I mute my mic? I don't even know if that muted. That's hilarious. Okay. Anyway. Man. Right, so let's just do that so that my music doesn't pause. It muted? Oh, okay, good. I'm glad. Minor spelling mistake! Right. So. While I'm reading, feel free to carry on talking in chat while I read. I don't know if I'm probably gonna finish this in one sitting. So if you're gonna go get some sleep, please do rest well. If you're currently working or studying or anything like that, please do your best, and I hope it goes well. But yeah, I will catch up with everything that was said at the end of the story. We are reading Courage by Malachi Whitaker. Also, my throat's starting to gunk up again. Why is this happening so much to me lately? Yeah, I don't know why my throat's not behaving properly recently. I don't know, maybe I'm getting ill? I hope not. The cowardly dog. No, just courage. Just courage. I didn't look up when this was from. I didn't look up like what year. Hold on. Because most of them are from like the 1920s. I don't know what this one is. I don't know. I have no idea when this was published. Okay, sure. But it was probably sometime between 1920 and 1980. Sometime during the 20th century. So, let's begin. And let me know if I need to adjust the volume at any time. I will keep trying to glance at chat, but it is actually quite difficult with my setup nowadays. So. Courage. Nope. Take two. Can I talk? Courage. There we go. Okay. Wow.
reading hard.
Isabel Allott was 20, plump, pleasant, and usually smiling. She had bright, very blue eyes and small hands with soft palms. There were many things she did not understand, such as people biting their nails, or really liking beer or black coffee, or spitting in the streets. Even though she pondered over these things for a long time, she got no nearer to understanding. The day was a January, one light-skied but piercing cold, yet she wore a thin navy coat and a skirt and small purple silk hat. Her underclothes were cheap and thick, without abiding warmth, but she had on a good pair of dark wool stockings. She had had to put on these new spring things because she had got a job at last, and the very old, thick coat, which had been good enough for the 8 o'clock job, was certainly not good enough for the 9 o'clock one. She walked along through Forrester Square, looking about her, taking everything in. Because it was the first morning, she was a quarter of an hour early. Her stomach felt unquiet. She had had too little breakfast, had walked too soon, had slept too spasmodically. It had been all right to say jokingly the night before, "If you're waking, call me early, and Mother dear," but that made for thoughts like chasms. Supposing Mother should be late? Why Mother should be late, with the other 2 girls still setting off at 20 to 8, she did not know. No, she was just terrified. Why had she left her old job for this new one full of perils? She kept on walking dreamily along, glad that she was no longer to use her hands for making census paper ornaments. "Who's going to buy these awful things?" she used to cry to Jem, the foreman. "I wouldn't." Yet for some reason, she made the things better and more quickly than anyone else. There had been something fascinating in the long, close room, in the bent heads of the other girls and women, in the ceaseless chatter that went on in undertones. Now and then, everybody would sing, not very tunefully, but good-naturedly and happily. It depended on Jem's mood as to how long this went on. Sometimes he would scowl and grimace, and the song would drop dead. Other times he would join in with apparent indifference. "Oh, Jem," thought Isabel, "I shall miss you terribly." How could the world go on without Jem, without Mrs. Holroyd, without Minnie Parkinson, and Beryl? They all called Beryl Barrel because she was so fat, yet Beryl was a lovely name. The sun went behind an early morning cloud, and the keen wind struck through the thin costume and made goosebumps rise on the girl's skin. Her steps had slowed. She was afraid to go any further. Abruptly, she turned and walked back into the square again. Surely, if she walked along Swain Street and down Leeds Road, she could go up into the old door, up the old steps, and slip into her old chair, gather up her old stock of paper and scent and gum, and just go on with her work where she had left off. But it was 12 minutes to 9. The girls would have already been there for over 3/4 of an hour. They were always early because Jem's train got down early, and anybody arriving at 5 minutes to 8 had a chance of talking to Jem for a little while. Jem was married and had 2 little boys, yet none of the girls except Miss Holroyd had ever seen his family. The others just didn't believe in it. Jem was Jem, and he existed in this dreamy, scent-laden atmosphere. He was dark and thick and short, almost Italian-looking, with bluish teeth and a strong nicotine-full breath. The thought of the roomful of girls hovered about him. Even the little 15-year-olds would seize any excuse to go up to him. "Help me, Jem. I don't know how to finish this." "Get Mrs. Holroyd to help you. Am I a wet nurse? You young tots give me a pain in the neck." Young tarts, the 15-year-old would sidle back, blushing. Didn't tart mean sweetheart? But Jem had spoken. Isabel crossed over the station and looked at the bookstall. People were buying morning papers so quickly that the two men could scarcely cope with them. She could not understand why they should buy or want these papers, and yet suddenly she took 2p out of her bag and bought the Times. As soon as she had done it, the thrill had entered laughter. Why had she spent her only 2p? She had no more, not a cent. Every morning her mother gave her expenses for the day. From Saturday's spending money she had to buy a gloves and scarf, there had been nothing left but this 2p. Why then have bought the Times? And the station clock said 6 minutes to 9. Folding the paper under her arm, she ran through Foster Square again and up the hill. This then was the street. This was the office in which she had her interview, in which she had said she could type, having practiced on a friend's typewriter but 5 times, in which she had said no, she could not do any shorthand, but she would learn. The office in which she had been praised for her clear writing. But I don't always write as nicely as this, she had said in a burst of frankness. I took a lot of trouble with that letter. The office in which she had grinned and felt pleased and sure at the moment that she could do anything that was asked of her. There was a wide red door at the bottom of the steps. Isabel went through the doorway and upstairs, passing a woman who was kneeling on a rubber mat and wiping up water with a black cloth. "Good morning," she said politely, remembering that in the old fairy tales one had to be polite to everybody. But she did not like the look of the woman, who was young and fair and strong, and had an angry glare in her eye. "Good morning," said the woman abruptly. Then something very strange happened. There were 2 entrances to the building. She had taken the nearer one, and had to walk along the corridors. At the far end of the last corridor, everything was in confusion. The girl kept skipping over streams of water which gushed along the linoleumed corridor. Men and boys were walking about with wet ledgers in their arms. She simply stared at the things around her, and then went and knocked at the glass door of the suite of offices in which she was to be employed. It was certainly quieter here. Nobody answered, so she opened the door and went inside. There should have been an office boy. The office boy comes at 8:30, Miss Ellett. The floor was not only wet and sodden, but the brown lino was ridged. Water was even in standing on the level backs of the sloping desks. I must be dreaming, she thought, or perhaps the angry charwoman does this every Monday morning. There was a small desk in the middle of the room, holding a typewriter with a tin cover on it. That was wet too. There were 6 windows. One was broken. Also, water was trickling down the green-washed walls. Isabel put down her Times and her black bag on the desk, then took off her small blue coat and purple silk hat and the white, thin scarf she had bought on Saturday, and hung them up. Underneath, she was wearing a cotton blouse with dark blue spots on it. She looked with some dismay at the very shiny, round wooden stool she was to sit on, and wondered how soon her skirt would match its brightness. Then she looked slowly round the room again. It is a wet place, she thought, but I suppose I shall get used to it. All at once the door opened, and a very little, old, bald man came in. He was breathing quickly, fluffing up the ends of a huge moustache. He said good morning and came running forward to shake hands. Miss Ellett, and Mr. Palfreyman, the head clerk, and the cashier too. Oh dear, whatever's happened? I don't know. Isn't it wet? Asked Isabel solemnly. The little man ran here and there in creaking boots, while Isabel looked at him gravely. Every fresh wet thing he saw made him groan. How lucky that we put everything in the safe at night. All but the big guard books and the letter books. They're sodden. Oh dear, oh. There's been a fire, you know, said Mr. Powerful looking at the young girl sharply. Now, why wasn't I informed? There'll be a young Mr. Julian worrying his head off, nothing being done about it. I could have been down at 5 o'clock if necessary, you know. I've been with the firm for 40 years. But Mr. Julian will have the police call him if anything happens, and they used to always call me. He's been a different man since his father died last year. You must obey, young Mr. Julian, said the old man, wagging his fingers and blowing out his large moustache with these 3 sharp breaths. Well, where's that young boy, that Reggie? He continued testily. Then he stopped to say approvingly, I see you hung your things on the proper peg. That's right, Miss Elliot, that's right. Begin as you mean to go on. Now, I'm privileged. I hang mine in the private office, he said, with gratification in his voice. Then the thoughts of the fire and of the boy Reggie, who was still missing, overcame him, and he went into the private office groaning. Whatever will Mr. Julian say? Isabel went to the door and looked hopefully for Reggie, but he was not to be seen. It seemed very damp and chilly in the office, in spite of the coal fire, which had been lit for some time and was now black and rather caked. She wanted to poke it, but did not dare, so she went back and stood looking at it. Very soon another man came in. He wore glasses, and was so thin that his clothes hung upon him as if he were a coat hanger. Hello, he said. I'm Bentley. He glanced towards the private office, where Mr. Powerful, who had hung up his things, was now opening the mail with ostentatious cracklings. I've only been here 14 years, so I hang my things beside yours. He slid round the barrier, which stood like a mahogany counter a couple yards from the door, hung up his things, coughed loudly, and said, Anything for me this morning, Mr. Powerful? We shall see, returned the other, distantly. You realise there has been another fire, Mr. Bentley? No, I hadn't noticed it, said Mr. Bentley, winking at the girl and rubbing his thin grey hair with a handkerchief. In spite of the cold, he was sweating. He went over and poked the fire. You're the first girl that's ever been in this place. Did you know? He whispered. The old man wouldn't have any of them, at any price. We've always had lads before, but they get sick of the old Pompey snuff-box in there, and sneak off to better jobs with a list of our customers' names in their pockets. But young Mr. Julian's got the business now. He spun on his heel, with the poker still in his hand, winked, and went on poking the dark coals. What do you mean, young Mr. Julian? Asked Isabel, speaking in a whisper. I saw a Mr. Julian, but he was old and quite bald on the top. That's young Mr. Julian, said Bentley. Give us a chance. He's not 50 yet. I'm 62, Powerful's 73, but you'd think he was 90, wouldn't you? Isabel moved away from Mr. Bentley, who smelt of old clothes, old fish, and cough medicine, inextricably blended. Reggie came quietly in. Mr. Bentley took off his outdoor glasses and put on another pair, which had a long black ribbon tied at the side of them, stared at him fixedly and said, Where have you been? I bet you let the office door open, and that means sudden death, you know. Isabel noticed that the boy was very small for his 15 years, but he had upstanding fair hair, a stiff Eton collar on, very short trousers, and very dirty knees. I've been helping with the fire, he said in a rapt voice. You ought to see Pickett's place. It's soaking, and every window's broken. I've been on the roof. Mr. Bentley leaned over towards Isabel and said in a croaking whisper, This boy doesn't exist yet. He's only been here a couple weeks, but the last one was a corker. He was sliding down the banisters and fell between 'em,
3 flights onto a stone floor. His father was just coming on the door. Real coincidence this is. His father's an insurance man, and he says, "Lay there, sonny. Come back and lay down." For this lad was bolting upstairs again, frightened to death of getting the sack at one end and a belting from his father at the other. He wasn't hurt a mite. He went back and groaned no end. But unfortunately somebody had seen what he was doing, and the case came to nothing. We don't employ boys who slide down banisters, you know. Isabel didn't know whether Mr. Bentley was speaking the truth or not. She just looked at him with large eyes. Mr. Palfreyman called from the other office. Less noise, please. Then, come here, Reggie. Take these envelopes out and cut 'em, and give these letters to Mr. Bentley. Bentley went on talking to the girl in his croaking voice, using up the insides of used envelopes as scrap paper. Dirty, messy old thing. You don't know where they've been, do you? Things like that want destroying, I say. And there'll be a hell of a mess over this fire. Excuse me, miss, I can't help swearing in a small way. My old girl at home, she swears like a trooper. But it's the second fire in 3 months. Not that it's our fault, it wasn't started here. But any insurance company'd cut up rusty, what do you think? Isabel was warming her hands at the fire and looking round helplessly. "Who tells me what to do?" she asked. "Well, I don't, thank God," said Bentley piously. "But I can tell you one thing. Dodge old Palfreyman like the devil. Stick to young, Miss Julian. Don't get across with the office boy. Keep on looking pretty as you do now, and you'll get on all right." "Do you have any dusters?" asked Isabel, suddenly resolute. In spite of his friendliness, she did not much care for Mr. Bentley. The old man was peculiar, but she liked his loyalty. She would do something to get on the right side of him, help him, be as nice as she knew how. "You'll find any amount in the pattern room." "And where's that?" "Through that door." She came back with an armful of dusters, soaked one in water, and began wiping the wet desks. She did not feel like the irresolute girl who had walked up to that bookstall. In a few minutes she was warm all over, her face flushed with the good work of cleaning away an unwanted mess of water. "I'm doing something without Jem or anyone having to tell me," she thought happily. She had found a pail in the lavatory and was busy wringing her duster full of water when Mr. Palfreyman called her. She dried her hands on a handkerchief and went into the private office. The old man was standing with his back to a very cheerful fire. There were 2 chairs, 2 desks, and an ornamental brass coal box. Over the mantel was a curled map. "Miss Allett, I'm going to let you do something. You shall look after Mr. Julian's desk. See that all the inkwells are always filled, blue, black, red, and copying, and that the nibs are in order, and fresh blotting paper, plenty of it, always on hand. It is a great privilege. I have attended to this, and to Mr. Julian's father's desk, for many years. Oh, and Miss Allett," he lowered his voice, "I should not talk to Mr. Bentley a great deal. It is true he has been here for some years, but he has always acted as a stranger. He is not, Miss Allett, I grieve to tell you this, but he is not a gentleman, Miss Allett. He goes to funerals in a bowler hat. Now you may go back." "Thank you very much, Mr. Palfreyman. I shall be very pleased indeed to look after the desk. I will begin in the morning." She went out, wishing that the private office had been a sumptuous place, and that Mr. Julian would have flowers and a large picture of a very beautiful wife in a silver frame. But perhaps his wife was ugly. So many are, she thought wistfully. She went back to her manual work, wiping up the water, wringing her dusters, looking brightly round for more wet places. "Good morning." Suddenly the whole place was alive. Mr. Palfreyman was a devoted old slave, with his "Good morning, Mr. Julian." The office boy was kind of a tolerated worm. Mr. Bentley was simply Mr. Bentley, the stranger who had been with the firm for 14 years, and no more. "Why, Miss Allet, whatever are you doing?" Mr. Julian had taken off his hat with a sweeping bow. What a long bald head, but a nice bald head, she thought. "I'm clearing up after the fire," she said in a clear voice. "Don't trouble, please. Mrs. Withy will do that." He looked in a very pleasant way at her young, fresh face, at her thin coat hanging on the peg, at her small hands competently wringing out the duster, and smiled. She smiled back widely, delightedly. Yet she kept on wiping up the pools of water, and hearing the droning voice of Mr. Palfreyman, the harsh cough of the friendly Bentley. Behind her, the boy Reggie sat at a dried desk, cutting open the old envelopes, saving the smooth sides for the old man to make notes on. She felt little gusts of wind coming from the broken window, and every moment a little more of Jem and the girls, and the scent and the coloured paper fell away from her memories. They'll be going on, close all together, feeling well or ill or hungry or good-tempered or bad, and Jem will be there at the big machine waiting for them to come up and flatter him and praise him. She felt alone and exhilarated. But I've got away. I'm going to be my own self. There's no Jem here to take all the responsibility. I'm going to work well and do exactly what they tell me. I'd love, yes, I'd simply love to be dignified. But nice, too. So many people are like marshes, slopping sluggishly about. She laughed and tried to whisper, slopping sluggishly, to herself. But I'd rather be a lake, she went on thinking. A lake with good straight edges. A lake mightn't do much, really, but it is nice to look at, and marshes are such treacherous things. They run into one another and rot everything that gets in the way. She went on thinking as she worked, about the dusters, about Mr. Julian, about the copy of the Times on her desk, about her home and her family. I'm going to learn something here. Not business, not good arithmetic, not even shorthand. But someday, what will I do someday? She had not the remotest idea what she would do someday. But when she had washed down her wet desk and put away the dusters and the bucket, she opened her typewriter, got some paper from the top drawer, and began typing figures, long columns of figures that she could add up. She did not add so very well. She began tapping, at first slowly, then with more and more confidence, and soon she was pulling out the filled paper, bending her head to it, frowning, looking the very picture of somebody who had plenty of fine work to do in the world, and who knew exactly what she was doing. What a very abstract. I wanna see what is this about? What is the actual? Is it literally just a short story about a woman getting a new job? I don't know. I don't know what the. I don't know what the meaning. Is there a meaning, or is it just writing for the sake of writing? I don't know. Courage, courage, courage. Has the author... You wouldn't get it? I guess not. I can't get a job in a firm with only 4 people on the typewriter. It felt inspiring. It did. It felt like the story felt like somewhat like it felt, I guess, from the development of someone who was going into something new with a sense of trepidation and kind of ending like, you know what? It doesn't matter that I don't know what I'm doing yet. But I don't know. Well, hello. Greetings. Hello, Tinko. Hello, Robert. I don't actually... Did I say hello to you, Tabaha? No, I saw you earlier. I don't know if I actually said hello. But yeah, when is that from? When was that written? Courage. Written in... here we go. Written in 1934. Starts a new job in a Bradford office. It is about the many complex thoughts and emotions which go to her head, the pressures to stay or to advance. Overcome fear, nostalgia, and confusion before asserting her confidence in spite of herself. So yeah, kind of like an inspiring little... I guess. It's nicely written though. It is nicely written. I guess it does a good... life seems like it was difficult before Gaslight Gatekeep Girl Boss. Yes. Complicated. I was very confused when they started and then they're like, oh yeah, the building is wet. I'm like, what is this a metaphor for? Like, is the building wet because it's like a new world, so it's like underwater? No, it was just fire. There was just a fire, so that it was wet because they had to put out the fire. It's that simple. Those were the times of proper gaslighting. Yeah, real lighting through gas. The next story is short as well, but I don't know if names get highlighted. I think if really? Maybe if someone says your like channel handle, it comes up. 1934, you won't guess what comes. Yeah. Who knows what happened 3 years later. I need someone. You're testing out YouTube features that I can't even see. I still don't know how this website works. I can't join in. I can't. My name is annoyingly long with Japanese in it and everything. Someone say my name. Or PRTVT, maybe. No, it's not highlighted for me. Oh, okay, right. So Hugs literally copy pasting the entirety of my name. That highlighted. But yeah, no. Okay, cool. If you want to highlight me in a chat, you need to put the effort in, apparently. Oh, period at me. It should highlight the at though. Yeah, I mean that's pure TVT. I don't know if someone wants to try that. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there for the reading. While the next one is also quite short, I don't think it's 15 minutes short, so I will close up the book for today. So, regarding reading streams, I know this is a different day than I usually do reading streams. I normally do reading streams on a Thursday night. They will be going back to Thursday night. This was a one-off because I was very sleepy, very tired yesterday. I'm going to my dad's for New Year's. So I am going to be able to go into the loft and grab all my old books. And someone needs to kick me if I don't actually do it. I need to get my old books. Because then we can decide what we actually start reading next for these streams. Let's go, new books, yeah! Yeah, it's about time I grabbed them. It's a good opportunity, so. Streamer, yes. Streamer does get sleep. Sometimes. Heard you say you were going to a dance instead of God, could you imagine? I'm like the last person you would expect us to get a dance. You walk into a place with a dance floor and you're like, what? Why is there just like a cat standing just in the middle of the floor, just kind of like bobbing their head? That's what I do. Like when I go to pubs with loud music, I'm just there like, that's it. I know some people who are like, oh my god, I love the dance floor, oh my god, I can get on stage, oh my gosh. I'm like, no thank you, no, don't tire yourself too much. I'm not planning on I don't know, me, mum and dad, we might go to a pub for a drink before New Year's, but we'll probably just watch it on the television at home when the clock actually strikes 12. So don't worry, not much chance of that. Head boppity, yeah, that is me. I've been told like, oh my god, Purity, you should try dancing. You have like a good sense of rhythm. You would definitely be good at dancing. And I'm not like, you could not catch me dead doing that. Thank you. I'm good, thanks. Nope. Staying in and doing housework? No. Puri dance. Yeah, Puri 7 dance is actually the caramel dance. I used to practice Miku dance routine stuff. Cat VTuber idol group is, well, that's the one thing I did used to want to do. I used to practice songs like Love and Joy and Machioshka, like the MMD motion files. But that was in the privacy of my own room, where no one could see me. Also the Hare Hare Yukai, obviously. Obviously the Hare Hare Yukai was one of the ones I would practice. But yeah, I don't know if I can actually dance. I used to want to take part in, when I did used to go to conventions, I used to want to perform at MCM conventions. They have something called the Masquerade, which is 2 categories for like winners, which is like best cosplay and best performance. And I used to, especially when I got into Love Live, I was like, oh my god, we could dress up as Love Live characters and like do the dances that they have like in the videos. But my friends were even less fond of being perceived than I was, so it never happened. Not when there's a good chance someone else can still happen one day. Maybe. I would like to try and like get full body tracking and like learn how to dance as a VTuber, but who knows. I don't think I'm ever going to be like cut on here doing like backflips and stuff. So we'll see. We'll see. Probably do it if you wanted to, maybe. Maybe. I don't know, maybe my limbs are too gangly and clunky nowadays. I went to one dance lesson growing up, but I didn't like the other girls, so I immediately was like, "Get me out of here, Mom, I don't want to be here anymore. Ah, go, the other girls are scary." So, that didn't happen. Dance girls, it's so scary. They were like, I was new, and so they'd already formed packs. You know how girls form packs? If you've ever been around teenage girls, they form hunting packs. And they are very scary. Sounds very you. What can I say? Some things about me are kind of predictable. It's fine. So yeah, I don't know. Either way, I'm not going to be going to any pubs and dancing for New Year's. That's for sure. I will be minding my own business with my family and not forgetting to pick up the books, not forgetting to pick up the books, not forgetting to pick up... I should set a phone... Wait, hold on. I should set an alarm on my phone. When should I set it for? So how do I set a reminder? I don't know how to set a reminder on my phone, actually. I'll worry about that later. Alright. Huh. It's nearly been an hour. You should write a note on your face so your dad can remind you. Maybe a post-it note. If I'll find a post-it note, just stick it to my forehead. If I'm drunk enough, I'll do the pointy finger dance, and ironically, it's that kind of way you like jive, but you're like pointing with your fingers, which is like basically the next step to like dad dancing. I wonder if they could make participants do that IDR labs test before sorting them into dance class. Yes, can I take the dance class with the autistic people, please? Thank you. Please don't put me in the hunting packs. I'm not prepared. I don't think they could do that. I don't think they could. You could schedule a tweet to remind yourself. I could. I don't really know how that works. But I've done it. I think I've done it before. I can do it again. Yeah. Just don't dance like Elaine from I don't know how to say it. That's a TV show, right? Like an older TV show? I don't know how. I don't know anything about that. That dance class would probably be easier to deal with. It would. To go to the Fortnite dance classes, that's oh no. I'm good, because I don't want to be a 26-year-old among a bunch of 13-year-olds. It's like, hi, yes, I'm double your age, don't look at me. Don't look at me. Don't ask questions. You could use Google Tasks to set up Google Tasks. I've heard of that. I've never used Google Tasks. I'll figure out something. I will not forget. I will not let myself forget. If I will, if I forget, I will literally get a bus ticket and go back to my dad's to pick up my books. Like, I will not leave them behind. Got popular when I was starting college. My community college had a Fortnite dance class, but Jesus Christ. I don't know. I know that when I worked at an arcade, Fortnite was already popular, and so people would be like, oh my god, look at me! And then they'd be like flossing, and I'd be there like, cool. Good job. Because obviously you're meant to be nice and supportive to kids. Do you have a boyfriend, 26-year-old Among Us? No, oh god. Oh no. Wait, why are you guys deleting messages? The context was 13-year-old. God, I would literally be there like, listen, if there's one person you cannot take romantic advice from, it is me. I don't know shit about that. Good luck though. I bought you some rainbows. You're good, don't worry. I can also see 13-year-old girls asking that, oh my god, do you have a boyfriend? I'm just there like, no. My mum dropped me off. And they're gonna be like, what? Aren't you an adult? And I'm gonna be like, listen kids, there's something fundamental you need to understand. There's something you need to understand. Turning 18 does not make you an adult. It makes you legally an adult, but that doesn't mean that you're prepared to be an adult. It doesn't. It means nothing. How do I attract cat question marks? I also don't know. That. I've sat next to a very inquisitive girl on a plane once. I've sat next to some interesting people on planes. But probably the most inquisitive I ever had was actually like a 60-year-old ex-cop. He was like, oh, where are you from? Are you a student? Because your accent is very, like, it's very hard to place your accent. And I panicked. And I said no. He was like, are you a student? And I was like, no. And he's like, oh, okay. Have you finished uni then? And I was like, yes. He's like, oh, what did you study? Foreign law. Because someone that I had lived with had studied law, so it was the first thing that came to my mind. So yeah, this poor guy. Well, no, he's not a poor guy. He shouldn't have been asking me questions. I'm not a student. I've never lived anywhere else apart from where I've lived. Just because my accent doesn't sound perfectly where I'm from, that doesn't... Whatever, it's fine. People on planes are interesting, because some people really want to get on with the trip and just be like, don't talk to me, I'm putting on the face mask, I'm putting on my headphones, don't wake me up, don't touch me, don't think, like, if you think too loudly, I'll kill you. And then some people are like, where are you going? Where have you been? What are you doing? Are you having fun? Do you like films? Do you like music? Have you seen this? Have you heard of this? And it's like, help. 12-year-old travelling alone to see her father at the Target airport. I sat in the last row, but they asked me to sit next to her across the aisle because of the oxygen masks. Oh yeah, of course, because they want to make sure that everyone's able to be helped with an oxygen mask. That makes sense. They never want me to help anyone. I guess because I'm just a noodly cat, is that they don't really like trust me. Like, I want them to put me next. I want to be next to the emergency escape doors. But they always get like a strong guy to sit there. But the emergency escape doors have the leg room. They have the leg room. I want the leg room. But they never give it to me. They just slap me in the middle of the plane like, good luck. They put her next to you too. Because I'm just bulk up then. Yeah, just get super buff arms, walk onto the plane like flexing to be like, hey, you know where you should put me? Next to the escape doors. God, it's been a long time since I've been on a plane now. I want to go on a... It's good they don't give you the exit row. It's a lot of responsibility. It is a lot of responsibility. I think I could handle it. I think I'm good in emergency. I don't really freeze up. I do panic easily, but I don't freeze up in situations. I think a good dose of adrenaline could get me to tear the door off and kick it out of the plane and do all that stuff. Seen them pick strong guys. Yeah, it is normally the strong guys that they get to sit next to the emergency exit. I've sat once. I got to sit next to one once, and the leg room. It was beautiful. It was glorious. But like, because I have pretty long legs, like proportionally, my legs are like quite long. Like my torso is not super long, but my legs are like. So I hate having to sit in airplanes with my legs just kind of like trying to like folded up. Gah. So I like the leg room. Men have higher upper body strength, I think. I mean, most men have higher strength, full stop. So don't get me wrong, I understand why they do it that way. People with long legs are more likely to get DVT. Exactly, right? Think you could manage getting your own oxygen mask and putting... Yeah, I could. I have somewhat long legs too. Yeah. Try and get, like, sitting... Airplanes, I understand. They're just trying to shove as many seats as physically possible on a plane. But, God, come on, please. Please. I don't want to get crushed by, like, the second the person in front of me decides they want to lean back. That's happened more times than I could say. Please. Please. I understand that it's not that comfortable to sit up straight for an entire, like, 9-hour plane ride. But have some mercy. For crying out loud. Anyway. I should probably go for the night. I have been working on the presentation that I lost all the progress of. It still looks like garbage, but at this point I don't care that my presentation is not amazingly formatted. Buy business class, yes, that's what they want you to do. But I'm there on like Sky Searcher, like looking for the cheapest deals ever. I'm like, £300 to get to America, and I only stop in Poland, New York, some random middle of nowhere stop, Detroit, and then my final destination? Wow, thanks. Google Flights is cheaper. Is it actually? Oh, I haven't looked up flights for a very long time, so have a good New Year party? Yeah, I will. It'll be nice to spend it with Mum and Dad again. It's been a while. Do I give you guys a little early preview of my little questionnaire form, or should I save it to give to? It's got spoilers for the presentation, so I should probably save it until the 1st. Yeah. 300 for a flight to Tokyo, and I have to Route 5 Warsaw and Rome. What a steal! Exactly. Yes, I'm in. Okay. I can give you guys the survey, even if it's gonna have spoilers for the stream. It hasn't got a lot of spoilers. It's got a little bit of spoilers. Just how do I send? Send via link. Shorten URL. I think I finished it. It is editable. So it's like, if anyone like looks at it, it's like, oh, I'll just answer one question now. As long as you use the same email address to log into it, you should just be able to like edit it, I think. It is anonymous, I can't see anything. Why are you arguing at me? That is a link to YouTube. That's not what I wanted. Send. Link. Shorten URL. Copy. Yeah, you guys who come along to the reading streams get a little early preview. There you go. I think that link should work. Sorry for arguing. So good. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about some of the stuff, specifically physical craft stuff on Sunday, so don't worry too much about that stuff yet. But yeah, I'll leave it there for today. Thank you for coming to reading stream. It was good to see. I feel like some of you I haven't seen come to the reading streams here before. So welcome to YouTube, or specifically my corner of YouTube. Anything else? Yeah, no, that's all. I can't read or anything here, so I will simply leave it there. Please have a very good rest of your night. Enjoy whatever you are doing for the new year. I do hope it goes well. Or if you're just sitting, chilling, you know, I hope you just have a chill vibe, nice time. Rest well, get some sleep, get something to drink, get something to eat, whoever unlikes me. It's fine. Cozy cat corner, exactly. So yeah, thank you very much for coming, guys. Have a very good night, and I will hopefully see you guys on Sunday. Good night. Onyasumi. Bye.